Welcome to Nawiri Wellness Stories. Here, we will share with you stories of how life affects us differently and impacts our wellness. If you can relate in any way to the characters in these stories, you're welcome to reach out to share your story too. With these stories, we seek to bring to light different experiences which affect us adversely, to normalize the experiences and in some instances propose possible ways of navigating them. Welcome. Today's story is about an imposter. Dante grew up in poverty. When people spoke of lacking, he could relate very well. Dante's parents were civil servants and they worked and lived in the big town. It was generally expected that civil servant families would not lack and would have decent lives. This wasn't Dante's experience. His father had a drinking problem. He went to the bar after work on most days and would come back home way after Dante was asleep. To ensure that he played his role as an involved parent, he would wake Dante up in the moment when he returned home, for Dante to show him his homework. This ritual was not fun, as he often returned home after midnight and the reading sessions were more like berating sessions. Dante's dad found fault in almost everything that Dante presented in his schoolwork. Dante committed to have a different adult life than what his parents presented here. He excelled in his secondary exams and proceeded to university. He graduated top of his class and had a job offer even before the graduation ceremony. The salary was way above what Dante imagined he could earn while he was in school. He presented like he was happy, and yet internally, he kept feeling like an imposter. He often asked himself what he would do when his colleagues and the others at work discovered he was a fraud. He felt like an imposter in the midst of his apparent success. One of our core human needs is to be seen, loved, and appreciated unconditionally. What is unconditional affirmation? What does it look like? This can take many forms, and primarily it's about being appreciated for just being human, not because of stuff that one does like excelling in school, keeping one's room neat, being polite, etc. These achievements are worth appreciating. It's being appreciated and loved too in the not so stellar or significant instances, like when one doesn't do their homework on time, one doesn't excel in school, or even one is just sitting by doing nothing. When one does things that are considered inappropriate, the acts are to be called out while the individual remains loved. That is, we love the individual, but we don't love the inappropriate act. If this is done consistently, one gets a message that they are fundamentally good individuals, whether or not they excel at stuff. Growing up, children need feedback that lets them know when they do well, much as they also need to be corrected when they don't do so well. If one grows up hearing more about how terrible or wrong they are, they internalize the message that they are not good enough. They lack the template of what is good enough, as their predominant feedback is on how wrong they are. Can you relate with Dante? Have you had occasions where you were successful and you struggle to appreciate your success, whilst others were bringing this to your attention? You're welcome to share your story on nawiriwellness@gmail.com or 0745 Nawiri. That is 0745 629 474.